Hi, I'm the brain patterns of Dr. Ivo Kintobor that were accidentally imprisoned on a power ring and turned into Sonic's computer. If that last sentence made no sense, you're in the right place. Megadroid asked me to summarize Sonic the comic for the benefit of new readers. So, Sonic, take it away.
Hey, Sonic here, and we're about to start a new adventure. But what is this adventure? Let's start from the beginning. Well, we all know about Archie Comics' Sonic comic. But did you know that in the UK they had their own comic titled Sonic the Comic? It ran from 1993 to 2002 and had a darker tone. But that's not where our story begins. No, it starts at the end. Once the comic was canceled, one man stood up and continued it online for fans. But wait, how can we start this at the end? Surely we can't skip the entire history of my universe. Well, don't worry, we won't be skipping anything. Let's start from the beginning and go through a little history dive. Years ago, the kindly and incredibly handsome Dr. Kintobor decided to remove evil from the planet Mobius forever, absorbing them into the mysterious Chaos Emeralds. He was helped in his mission by a super-fast hedgehog named Sonic. No, really, that is me there.
We can't find the Grey Emerald, the legendary controller. But I'm sure this mechanical substitute will work and not go horribly wrong.
A test of my speed went wrong, making me blue, streamlined, and even faster. And sad to say, an accident with the evil-saturated Chaos Emeralds and a rotten egg turned Kintobor into, well, you know. Dr. Robotnik tried to conquer Mobius and turn everyone into organic batteries for his batniks. So I stopped him, and so on and so on.
And he saved me and I became his sidekick.
You mean charity case, Pixel Brain?
I'm not that nice.
Oh, the king's horses and all the king's men won't put your skull together again.
I also had to keep the Chaos Emeralds out of Robotnik's hands. And all that exposure to Chaos energy meant that in times of great stress, I'd turn into the Berserker Supersonic. But apart from that constant ticking time bomb, everything seemed fine. Then I visited the Special Zone, a really weird other dimension, to visit my friend, the time-space warping Omniviewer. And Robotnik, then based in the Spatial Zone, forced Big OM to trap me in a time warp. I got out 6 months later.
Well, come on. What did you expect would happen?
I fought to free Mobius. I created a team of freedom fighters. Me, Tails, the stalwart Johnny Lightfoot, nervous techie Porker Lewis.
Pork is the one that's not the rabbit.
Other allies followed. Amy Rose, who pretended to be my girlfriend for a laugh but turned out to have a backbone of steel. Shortfuse the Cybernik, really of steel, trapped in a batnik but retaining his free will. And the immoral criminal Captain Plunder and his Sky Pirates. But I don't like to mention that part.
I downloaded illegal scans of STC. Arrgh.
Robotnik had an army of baddies behind him. Grimmer, a pathologically loyal scientist. Metallix, the Metal Sonic. Metamorphia, the shapeshifter with a crush on the Doctor. Nuts and Bolt, a total nutcase. The Marxio brothers, please don't sue us, Nintendo. Robotnik also turned into a giant egg and emerged in a new body. No, seriously. Unknown to me, Tails came from a magical dimension named the Nameless Zone and wrote back saying he was the hero and I was the sidekick. They believed him, repeatedly.
Come on, Prower! Trog isn't going to beat up himself!
Robotnik rebuilt his Death Egg, but without a Chaos Emerald to power it, it crashed right into the mythical floating island, home of 7 Chaos Emeralds, including the Grey Emerald from page 1. And the guardian of these emeralds was Knuckles the Echidna. Alone, and with no idea where his lost people were, Robotnik duped him pretty easily. But Knuckles learned the truth and helped fight to stop the Death Egg, working with me in the spirit of harmony.
Hurry up, ugly!
Oh, go wash your feet for once.
The Chaos Emeralds were merged into one pair and remained on the island. Knuckles also allowed the Emerald Hill Zone folks to hide on his island, where a vengeful robotnik couldn't find them. And with the amount of ancient echidna weaponry the island is loaded with, the Doc would have a hard time to get back in.
Bah, like the Death Egg was my sole plan. I've created an entire army of metallics. My new Lieutenant Brutus, a super badnik with a copy of my own brain patterns. Obviously, they have self-destruct programs, so they don't betray me. They would never find a way around that.
The Brotherhood of Metallics immediately captured the Omniviewer and created a copy of him and used him to rewrite time. Knuckles and I both fought them with the Chaotix crew, a team gathered by OM to defend the Special Zone. But in the end, I was forced to change time back, personally ensure Kintobor did become Robotnik so the Metallics would be defeated. The Metallics also held Porker Lewis prisoner for a month. His nerve broke for good and he had to leave the team, joining the refugees on the floating island. The hits kept coming. Brutus made his own coup attempt and came very close to taking Mobius, forcing Tails to save a zone on his own and without the benefit of luck for the first time. And then I had a little accident with the Chaos Emeralds. The Freedom Fighters were almost killed and had to suck his energy into the Spatial Zone. But Super was not strong enough to exist on his own. I went after him and got stuck there when the Omniviewer sacrificed himself to trap Supersonic and only temporarily.
You're rubbish at this gig, OM.
Sonic had to live with Charmy B for months. The Freedom Fighters tried to carry on without me, helped by Shortfuse and his friend Tecno, a scientist with a gadget for anything. They did the best they could. But a second echidna had come to Mobius, the psychopathic Dr. Zachary, who knew secrets about the island that even Knuckles didn't, and wanted to destroy Mobius just for the heck of it. After falling off the island, Zachary ran into Robotnik, got a few new body parts and told him about the refugees and how to break in. While in the Metropolis Zone, the Mobian people rose up against Robotnik and got a kicking. Victory came from an unlikely but very handy source. Well, if the escaped Supersonic was going to cause a planet-wide electromagnetic pulse, why not teleport him to the planet full of badniks? With Robotnik's forces deactivated, Mobius was liberated in seconds. The people brought in a system of zone leaders, each zone having elected government and no central authority. Robotnik slunk off. So other villains tried to seize Mobius as well. Some were dangerous threats. The Shadow Dimensions, Agent X impersonating Johnny Lightfoot. The Dr. Robotnik Appreciation Tribe wanting to bring back the Tyrant. The Draken Empire, alien conquerors after the Chaos Emeralds who put me on trial by combat. And some villains were just losers.
I heard that.
Despite all the villainy, the Freedom Fighters were able to develop civilians' lives and make new friends. Free Mobius also brought with it mega nerds like Norris Wimple and very bad pop singers with a 15 minutes of fame like Fabian Vane.
I hope this summary brings up the continuity implications of the Sonic Human story from 17.
That's what fan comics are all about, right guys?
As for Supersonic, the explosion of power drained him, leaving him calm and a pacifist, afraid of using his powers again and turning evil. He fell in with the witch Ebony. Robotnik, beat and helpless, crawled to Drakens for help. Then, once they had successfully seized the Chaos Emeralds, he backstabbed them, took the emeralds himself.
And I became a god! And reality became my plaything.
Guess who still won?
Robotnik was missing, presumed atomized after that. And Mobius went into a period of relative calm, except for all the supervillains.
Bah, humbug. Oh dear.
Tails rapidly became his own hero, fighting all manner of nasties. While Amy and Tecno, now firm friends, adventured across time and space, agents of the Eternity Ring.
We found out life was brought to planets by dinosaurs in spacesuits who work for a conveniently unnamed deity.
She is not lying. Outside of Mobius, the modernizing Goblin Lord, Robel, signed a peace agreement with the Nameless Zone.
Just do a ceremonial agreement to obey me, and we'll hardly interfere with you at all. Otherwise, we'll invade and murder you.
It also turned out Robotnik was still alive in the subatomic planet of Shanazar. and he integrated himself with the ruling queen, making me an outlaw.
But Robotnik had to deal with that, so I still won.
Robotnik planned to merge Shanazar and Mobius, devastating them and letting him conquer the remains. They merged, but nothing bad happened at all. Phew!
Better luck next time, Master! Master!
The merger created portals to new zones, other realities, and even Earth's past. I and my friends had fun exploring them. No idea that it had been one defeat too many for Robotnik.
But we'll never see Set again!
He decided he'd rather destroy Mobius and be done with it. With the help of the alien robot plaques, he almost caused total environmental collapse. The good guys barely won. After this defeat, Robotnik slipped into a depression. Faithful Grimmer released Chaos, a Draken turned into a Chaos energy monster long ago, in the hope it would cheer Robotnik up. Robotnik gathered the Chaos Emeralds so that Chaos would get them and destroy Mobius while he watched. Grimmer quit after that. The cost of that battle was... Johnny, I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on. The battle against Chaos? I was brought back to the ancient past by the Echidnas Siatikal. Back to a war between ancient Drakens and Echidnas over the Chaos Emeralds the Drakens had created. And I found out Knuckles somehow was born in the ancient past. Oh yeah, my eyes are green now. In the end, Supersonic sort of saved the day. He'd been slowly withering away for lack of Chaos energy and decided to absorb Chaos power.
Everything old is new again.
Unfortunately, that turned him evil again and forced Ebony to trap him back inside me. By the end of it all, Robotnik was finally defeated. Shorty the Squirrel was free of his cybernetic armor. I was past the guilt of Johnny's death and everything was wrapped up. Oh, except the floating island had sunk. Zachary and the Drakens are still out there. I have a raging demon in me again. Tecno and Shorty clearly had a thing. The goblins have supremacy in the Nameless Zone. We don't know what happened to the Draken who used it to beat Chaos. Oh yeah, the Drakens are all fish. There are constant criminal threats like Max Gimbal here. Did I mention Father Christmas does exist and once asked Robotnik to repent? So you all caught up. Good, you can buy these older comics still today. But we are going forward now. As you see, there are lots of unfinished storylines, and we will be starting with the online continuation of these stories getting dubbed over very soon. I'll see you soon. And don't forget, everybody, stay on your toes and run like the wind.
Yeah, everybody, remember to check in real soon and we'll have new content for you. Just remember to stay away from evil baddies.
Our heroes are a busy bunch of people. Luckily, every issue of SDCO is around in the back issue section, boomers, and you can see for yourself. Now you're fully caught up. We hope you enjoy it. On me, I'm the Sentinel Robot Editor Megadroid, and my origin is...